Okay, good day everyone. So this video is intended for my professor, Ma'am Annalyn Ramos. Hello, ma'am. So this is the bridge presentation summarizing my findings and at the same time, the presentation of my comprehensive fiscal management plan for educational institution. And I am Janice Villaflores Sirgon, taking the course of Master of Arts in Education, major in Educational Leadership and Management. I will be presenting my project for my subject code 208A, Fiscal Management in Schools. Alright, so the task was to select an educational institution of our choice, and it's up to us to choose either it's a real institution or a hypothetical one. And I chose Everlasting Knowledge Institute. It is a hypothetical institution, medium-sized, a private school located in a suburban area, and it is currently experiencing financial challenges due to tuition dependency since it's a private school. So, due to tuition dependency and infrastructure maintenances, so Everlasting Knowledge Institute is challenged in covering the operational costs while still ensuring to provide quality education to their students. Alright, so next is to identify and analyze the institution's strengths and weaknesses in financial management. I utilized SWOT analysis. So it reveals that Everlasting Knowledge Institute's strength is composed of these three. First is stable revenue streams. Second is strong enrollment. And third is reserves and investment. So for stable revenue streams, so Everlasting Knowledge Institute's tuition fees provide a reliable and consistent source of revenue which contributes to their financial stability. Another is strong enrollment. So the school has maintained a healthy student enrollment, and this ensures a steady inflow of tuition revenue. Last strength Last strength is their reserves and investment. So Everlasting Knowledge Institute has built up a reserve fund and made strategic investments, providing them a financial cushion for unforeseen expenses and future growth. So they have their contingency funds. However, the analysis also reveals that Everlasting Knowledge Institute's weaknesses includes limited revenue diversification, rising operating costs, and limited financial aid budget. So limited revenue diversification. The heavy reliance on tuition fees as their primary source of revenue poses a vulnerability to fluctuation in enrollment or economic downturns. So as for rising operating costs, the increasing expenses, including staff salaries, benefits, and facilities maintenance, puts pressure in the school's financial resources. And next, for they have limited financial aid budget. So Everlasting Knowledge Institute's current financial and budget may not adequately support the needs of students from economically disadvantaged backgrounds. Alright, so those are the strengths and weaknesses in financial management of this school. However, I also included here the opportunities and threats for Everlasting Knowledge Institute. But then we will now move to the presentation of my proposed fiscal management plan. So my proposed fiscal management plan is really just a guide on how Everlasting Knowledge Institute can prepare for potential challenges. So this is a long-term financial planning, and I created a multi-year financial projection and a contingency plan. Okay, so for the multi-year financial projection, first thing that they have to put in mind that they must do is that they have to gather historical enrollment data and analyze trends to project future enrollment. Factors such as birth rates, demographic changes, competition, and historical patterns within the local community must be considered. Next is to evaluate historical funding sources and trends, including government funding, grants, and tuition revenue to estimate potential changes in funding. Another is to incorporate projected inflation rates into the financial projection to anticipate rising costs of salaries, benefits, utilities, and other expenses. Alright? Another is to develop a comprehensive financial projection model that covers at least 3 to 5 years, updating it annually based on actual data and evolving circumstances. Now, for the contingency plan, they must identify potential financial challenges that may arise, such as declining enrollments, reduced funding, or unexpected expenses. They should assess the potential impact of each scenario on budget. They should establish a reserve fund to serve as a financial buffer for unexpected events or emergencies. Determine the optimal target amount of the reserve fund based on the institution's size, financial stability, and risk tolerance. Another is to develop strategies for mitigating potential challenges, such as diversifying revenue sources, not just focusing on tuition fees, implementing cost-saving measures, and exploring new funding opportunities. Next is to monitor key financial indicators regularly, including enrollment numbers, revenue streams, and expense ratios, to identify early warning signs and take proactive measures. Another is to establish a cross-functional financial task force responsible for regularly reviewing the financial performance, identifying potential risks, and implementing appropriate actions to address them. And lastly, is to maintain open communication with stakeholders, including staff, parents, and the community, to ensure transparency and garner support during challenging times. Alright, so those were the strategies and recommendation as well for how Everlasting Knowledge Institute can effectively create a long-term financial planning. For this instance, let's say it's 3 to 5 years, and that is specific on creating a multi-year financial projection and a contingency plan. Okay. So here is a additional recommendation and that is to conduct a scenario planning. So conduct scenario planning exercises to simulate potential financial challenges and their impact on the budget. This will help identify necessary adjustments and develop response strategies for each scenario. So evaluate the potential effectiveness of different strategies in addressing financial challenges, such as reducing expenses. This is what we call the cost-saving measures, increasing revenues through fundraising or partnerships, or adjusting program offerings. All right. And last is to continuously monitor and update the contingency plan based on changing circumstances, new risks, or emerging opportunities. Okay, so here are the impact and expected outcomes from the implementation. By developing a multi-year financial projection and a contingency plan, Everlasting Knowledge Institute can proactively anticipate and address potential financial challenges. This approach provides a framework for strategic decision-making and resource allocation, ensuring financial stability and sustainability in the long term. Regular monitoring, evaluation, and adjustment of the plan will be crucial to its effectiveness. Yes. And for the conclusion, although Everlasting Knowledge Institute is just a hypothetical school that I made, I therefore conclude that failure is not for them. They have great strengths and opportunities they can make use that they can make use to eliminate their weaknesses and threats. Utilizing the best strategies is their great advantage, and following the comprehensive financial projection plan along with the contingency plan that I crafted, success is on the making. For additional recommendation, so the best recommendation is to not neglect the ethical considerations throughout the process, especially in implementing the strategies for them to navigate ethical dilemmas related to fiscal management in a transparent and fair manner. So it is then important to establish a culture of ethics and accountability within the organization, regularly review and update policies and procedures, and foster open communication and engagement with stakeholders to ensure ethical fiscal practices are upheld. So that is all. So here are the references, and thank you.